All right, what's going on, everybody? So here's what's happening with social media and what the Lord is allowing to transpire, because he has heard the prayers of the people. He has allowed certain evils to go on for so long, but now he's turning the tides. And many have prophesied, many have given words of encouragement, many have been praying. And you know the oppression, the society we've been living in because of quite frankly, Satanism, the movement to demoralize you, to indoctrinate you, and to make you think a certain way, even though the majority of the population, if I can just argue, is not of that type. The very minority that is of the liberal or wokeist, or whatever term you want to call it, that is basically unbiblical, going against the norms, the doctrines, the desires, the heart of God. These people are stepping up and they have become a bigger amplification of the voice of the people disproportionately compared to what people actually believe in and what they think is or should be the norm. And so this is switching. We are seeing people, and I'm not going to even get into the voting aspect, but the real estate dedicated to social media, the amount of words or posts or videos that are trending for certain purposes, these things have been suppressed. They've been manipulated, and now they are having their time. So you've already seen the trends in Twitter with Elon Musk and many other issues there. Recently, you've seen the Brazil Supreme Court be called out because one man has had the authority to suppress, to silence, to censor, and even I believe the New York Times recently last year had a piece, right? Even them think that Brazil's Supreme Court is going too far to suppress even the conservatives and this voice of fighting for election fraud and all these different things. And you're seeing it also because the people that have been complaining on Twitter, because a lot of the leftists, if you want to call it, people that have been following the liberal movement, they're saying that they're seeing more conservative posts, they're seeing more quote unquote MAGA posts and all these patriotic movements. But really, this is the voice, this is the majority that have been silenced. And they're just coming back to the fold and to the norm as being the majority voice. And because so many of the few, right, the vocal few, they've been stepping up and becoming a louder voice. This is suppressed the people that are humble, that are meek, that exhibit the Christ-like characteristics, but because they have been shunned and silenced, they were, I don't want to say forced, but they were pushed to the corner, and they haven't been heard because these other evil people, if you want to call it, that have been using sinister methods to illegally, unethically silence these voices. These people are now being exposed. And if you have been awake to any degree in the last couple of years, you have seen this take place on many social media platforms. I've been a victim myself as I post and say certain things. These things are not allowed. Recently, I heard about some guy in the Mall of America who wore a Jesus Saves shirt, but because people were so offended, security went up to him and said, hey, you got to take this shirt off. You cannot have religious, Christian, blatantly obvious things that are on your shirt because people are being offended. And let me tell you, this is the direction that Satan wants us to go in, for people to easily be offended. And if a small minority says, hey, I don't want this, I don't want that, it just hurts my feelings, then that's the way it's going to go, regardless of if it's truthful, regardless if it's freedom of speech, regardless if it's godly. This is the direction it's going. And so this is one example of many other examples. I have personally been attacked for many truths, declaring that there's two genders, declaring many events that are factual, but because people don't want to listen to it, this is being silenced and censored, and so many other issues going on right now. But because the majority, I believe, really believe certain things, it just hasn't been amplified. It's been rejected, it's been suppressed, and this sort of ratio, this proportion of what the voice of the people is, have been diverted to the minority, to the left or the unbiblical side, or whatever you want to call it, right? These people have been amplified for a long time, but now no more. This is coming to an end. And so I believe, even as I declare, in a holy, in a godly way, that the voice of the devil, the voice of Satan would be suppressed, that by the blood and the power of Jesus, that this would be stopped, and that the righteous voice, the truthful voice, would be amplified. And are already seeing that. Yes, some people are not perfect. Some people may not even be Christian that are telling you the truth of what really is rational and what's sane, right? Even these people are being amplified because they're doing kingdom work, if I want to argue, even though they may not even be saved. But let's pray that they are saved. But more importantly, that the right voice, the truth, the majority of the people that know what really is factual, what really is moral and ethical, these things would be brought to light. So I just want to give you guys this word as an exhortation, but also that as I see it on Twitter and many other places, this is what's being taken down in this hour. And I believe that more progress will be made. But even though there are certain things happening in certain countries of censorship, Brazil being one of them, it's going to come to the point for which enough is enough. And a lot of people, dare I say, it's already happening in Brazil, but many more people are going to say enough is enough. And imagine what would happen if the majority, the Christian voice, the righteous voice, stepped up and said, we don't want any of this garbage in our schools. We don't want to be told what to do in certain ways that we feel is immoral, unethical, unrighteous. Imagine if you stood up as a chorus in boldness, in courage to say, we don't want this. And we want certain people elected. We want certain things passed. We want certain rules and regulations done for kingdom purposes. Imagine if people shouted out against this movement, against satanic movement, against the order of whatever this new world thing is, whatever agenda they want to try to push on us, type of content, the type of music, the type of videos that people are forced to see, and the stories that they are being told to believe. Imagine if the Christians stood up and said, enough is enough. So I just want to encourage you guys, take this to the Lord in prayer. However this applies to you, if you're motivated and encouraged to take action, to take a stand in whatever way the Lord is leading you, then do so. So I just wanted to encourage you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.